Hello and welcome to CB Cover Store, your home for dinghy trailers and covers. This is a guided tour of the Wear OS based Sail Time Watch app. This is a racing timer app for Wear OS watches with the added feature of voice prompts so you can concentrate better on your starts. Let's wake the watch up. Let's just go into the app itself, press the home button, and there we have the app at the top of the list of apps there. And you can see its home screen. As you can see, it resembles popular sailing watches and it has two parts to its screen. At the top, you can see there are controls for the watch itself, and at the bottom there are some setting controls. For example, you can change colours. We have red, we have yellow, and the default of pale blue. You can also change the start sequence. So a default 5-minute sequence, and then 3-minute sequences, or 1 minute, so you can set any amount you like. We'll go back to the 5-minute default. And at the very bottom there, you can see there is a sound on off, and you'll be able to hear the sound prompts in a minute when we show you the features. Let's go back to the top. Okay, so let's start by starting the timer.
5
We
minutes.
press the start stop button, and you can hear there was a voice prompt. Like most sailing watches, we have a synchronization function. So if you miss the first signal, you can start the watch anyway and then catch up on the next signal, which jumps forward to the next whole minute. I'll show you that now.
4 minutes.
There we go. When we get into the final minute, I'm just going to hit the synchronization
3
button a few
minutes.
more times so we can jump
2
into the
minutes.
final minute.
1 minute.
And then 1 minute to go. And you'll notice that the voice prompts get more frequent. I'm just going to let this run down all the way, and you can hear what the start sound sounds like.
45. 30.
You can hear also that the watch vibrates with every sound signal as well.
20. 15. 12. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1.
We have the start of the race. So let's just stop the watch there. And so to go back to the beginning for a new race, we can press clear. So we can clear it to 0. So at any time when the watch is stopped, we can clear to 0. And then we can program back to the default. We can also, if we wanted to, we can program multiples of that sequence. So multiples of 5, multiples of 3, or multiples of 1, all possible. Let's just clear that and go back to 5. Okay. So one of the things that we've discovered in our testing is that the touchscreen watch is a little bit tricky to use when you're out on the water and the watch screen gets wet, or you've got wet hands. So we've introduced a touch lock feature. If your watch has a physical button, so this one does, this is a Mob Wojtek Watch Pro 3. So this has a second button on it that allows programmers to access functions via the button. You can use that to control all the functions, and we can disable the touch screen completely. So what I'm going to do is press for a few seconds on the center of the screen, the center of the digits, and we go into touch lock mode. So at this point we've got no touches possible, no response to the touch screen at all. We just long press again to get out of it. Okay, so let's just go back in. And now we can control all of the functions via the single button here. So with the start sequence already set up, we can go 1
5
press,
minutes.
and that will start the watch. While it's running, you get the sync function. So if I press once more,
4 minutes.
it'll jump forward to the next whole minute.
3 minutes.
And again if we need to. So I'm not going to let this run all the way down again, But the final feature I want to show you is the reset. So while it's running, if you long press on the
2
buttons,
minutes.
you get an odd sound signal, and then it will go back to the start sequence that you previously selected. So there we are, ready for the next race. Okay, so let's take the touch lock off again, and there you have it, the latest product from CB Cover Store. It's worth mentioning, of course, that watches generally have Bluetooth to connect to a phone or whatever, so you can also use the Bluetooth connection to connect to a loudspeaker. So if you wanted to increase the volume, we have found that some watches are limited a little bit in the volume they can achieve. So if you want it a bit louder, or maybe if you're on a yacht and you want to have other crew members hear it but more clearly, then you can always connect to a waterproof Bluetooth speaker if you need to. And that's a little aid that you can add yourself there. So there you have it. Thank you for listening.